Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Krista, this is Rock and Road, and today we are going to do a shop tour. So I have my lapidary shop over in the background here, and then my fiance has his woodworking shop over there, so we'll touch on a little bit of both, but mostly talk about the lapidary, because that's what the channel's about. Alright, let's start with the workbench, because that's kind of the center point of my workspace area here in the garage. We built this about a year ago. Before that, this was just a pile of firewood, but we cleared that all out, and my fiance built me this awesome workbench here. I had just bought a set of equipment on Facebook Marketplace, and we wanted to be able to use that equipment, so we designed this workbench specifically for what I thought I would need with that equipment. So it came with the things down here on the bottom row, all of these vibratory tumblers, this guy in the corner over here, and the flat lap. So I wanted to make sure that we had space for a shelf for the vibratory tumblers that they all fit on, and a shelf that fit all of the other equipment here, and we'll go over that equipment more in a bit. And then also have space for the 5-gallon buckets, which you can see just barely fit down here, but that's what we store the rocks on. And then the bottom space over here was designed for the milk crates that I also store rocks in, but I've since found that these tubs work really well down here. And then a pegboard to just put everything up and have it easily accessible, which is really, really nice to have. We have he has a similar workbench set up over here for his woodworking stuff, but he has a flat surface. We set up my workbench to have an area where I could put the flat lap and it'd be a little lower so I could stand comfortably there, but then have an area up here that I can do whatever else and have a little bit more of a comfortable workspace a little higher up. So it's worked out really well so far. We got some holes down there to feed some wires through. The saw came a little bit later. I bought that over the summer, also used on Facebook Marketplace. It's a 10-inch slab saw, and I think it's my favorite thing in here. I really like to cut open the rocks on it. The flat lap, when I bought it, it just had the 6-inch discs and the 6-inch guy up here, but I've been working on upgrading to 8-inch just because it gives me a little bit more surface space when I'm polishing up geodes and thunder eggs and stuff. So I've got a couple of 8-inch discs, but mostly all 6-inch still. So as far as equipment goes, I've got my 15-pound MJR tumbler down here on the ground. The tumbler itself is nice and sturdy, but I don't really like the barrel. It's just PVC pipe. So I think I'm going to get some of the lower tone 12-pound barrels to replace that with at some point. We've got 2 mini sonic vibratory tumblers and 2 Lotto tumblers. The mini sonic ones I think work better, but the lids pop off a lot more. So I've been using the Lotto tumblers. I think I need to mount them on some cinder blocks or something though, because they just shake a little bit. The carpet stops most of the shaking, and they do a good enough job. But honestly, I like the rotary tumblers better. They give me a better result every time. Which, speaking of rotary tumblers, in addition to the 15-pound, we've got 2 Harbor Freight double barrels. These are each 30-pound barrels. We've got some petrified wood and some Wonderstone that's getting ready for the next stages. I think the Wonderstone's going into pre-polish or polish, and this might be going into either stage 3 or pre-polish. I have to look at my journal on that. We've got the vibrating flat lap. So you plug this on and it vibrates around and shakes the pan that has grit and water in it and your rock, and polishes the rock that way. It's alright. It's not my favorite piece of equipment. It's just really messy, and I just can't get a good polish on it. So I need to work with this more and get it to behave itself and actually do what it's meant to do, because it's taking up space on my workbench. But it's mounted down. We've got wing nuts so we can easily remove it if I need to put something bigger here, but it's really dusty. But anyway, that's that. The high-tech diamond flat lap, so that always just lives here because that's probably the piece I use the most other than the saws. Which, speaking of saws, we've got the slab saw. I've also got this little lower tone 8-inch saw. We did paint it this color. It did not come this bright purple color. And it needs painted again because it got all scratched up and is a little rusty right now. So I need to restore that again. Anyway, there's also another saw down in here. This is just an old microwave cart. The saw is, I don't even know what kind of saw it is, but I have a saw and I have a motor. I don't have the belt for it or a board to put it on. Eventually I want to get a table that I can put both of the trim saws on and have them sit out all the time and get rid of this microwave cart. But under here, this is all the stuff I got in that first lot on Facebook Marketplace. We've got a Griffin wet belt sander. That's to polish like bigger geodes and stuff. I don't use it a lot because the fuse blows on it a lot. It's a little bit finicky and it's a little bit messy, so it's kind of a summertime only machine. The Graves Cabmate, it's nice because it's a one-wheel cabbing machine basically. You have to put really thin wheels on it though for it to work right. But right now it's just got a silicon carbide grinding disc on it for some reason. And then a faceting machine that came into that lot. It's actually I'm selling that. It has a pending right now. I have someone interested that I have to meet up with in a couple weeks to sell it. So that will be out of here, and I'll have more space down here. And I can use the money from it to buy something that I'm gonna more likely use, because I'm not really ever gonna use a faceting machine, I don't think. It's just not something I'm interested in. Let's see. And then the air compressor here is brand new. That was a Christmas present for my new air scribe for fossil prep. I am not very good at it yet. I beat up a little trilobite over here. Here's my first attempt at prepping a fossil out. So he's kind of in there. A little eye down here. And then it cracked. I have to get some super glue. So still learning. I've only played around with it a little bit so far. I've only had it a few days. But this table here just lives on sawhorse legs. So super easy to move, so I can move it to in front of the garage door when I am prepping fossils, so that I'm not getting dust all in the garage, because that leaves a little bit of a mess. This door here opens to the backyard, which is really nice. For in the summertime, because I can work with the door open and still the privacy of the backyard. And when I'm cleaning my rock tumblers out, it's nice to be able to just step out and use the hose to clean them. So the other garage door goes back to the alley, but I don't think I use it anymore. We haven't had a car in here in probably at least half a year, if not a whole year at this point, because, well, we use this space like every day. We put in a futon, just one old one we had in the house. We wanted it out of the house, and we figured it'd be a good place to put it so we can hang out if one of us is out here working and the other person's not. As far as Alex's side goes, he's got this nice table saw with a table saw sled. I'm not going to play around with that because I don't like wood saws. His drill press. His area is much cleaner than my area. my area, every nook and cranny is filled with rocks. So I've got rocks hidden down there, rocks over here, tumbling grit and supplies up here, more rocks up on that top shelf up there. These rocks over here, I've got some like slabs, some fossils, some Petoskey's and stuff from Grand Treasure Bay that I need to polish up still, but it's been kind of cold out and I want to hand polish those, so I want to do that outside. And then all of these milk crates are full of rocks. We got Herkimers, and so like the rough from Herkimer Diamond Mines, and Ace of Diamond Mine mostly. Ace of Diamond had the better stuff. There's a piece from there, dolomite in that. There's petrified wood from Arizona, a bunch of stuff I got at a garage sale, and then just various rough that I've been working my way through. I'm trying to slab up a bunch of slabs in here. This top shelf here is more rocks and various stuff there. And then there's 6 buckets down here. Most of these have Ohio Flint in them because that's one of my biggest sellers on Etsy. So it kind of all lives in these buckets, as well as some stuff I collected out in Utah. I didn't even work my way through. I don't know what that is. Mostly jaspers in here that we collected. I don't know what that is. Chert. More jasper. There's some other Ohio fossils and stuff in the back row, things that I don't get to very often. And these 2 crates here is kind of more of my things I have project ideas for, things I bought at rock shops that I plan to slab up or make things with. Losing my pipe. This one's got a lot of my kind of choice slabs, things I've been saving for when I get a cabbing machine so I can make some nice cabochons. A big piece of fossil rock in there. Just odds and ends, things that I bought specifically for me. A lot of times I buy stuff in bulk at like flea markets or garage sales or whatever, and a lot of that ends up in those bins, which is more easily accessible, things I can just play around with whenever, and then the more special stuff goes in here for when I have an actual project or idea in mind. The last one over there is filled with Kentucky geodes, which I need to start cutting open because we're going back there in a couple of weeks. And yeah. Kitty litter down here for the saw. Just water from the flat lap. I need to go drain that. We've got the bin of rocks that's too big for my slab saw, and this one big geode that I keep meaning to cut open, but it's really big, and I think it's cool that it's so big, but I don't know how cool it's going to be on the inside, and so I'm not sure if I want to break it open or not. I probably just should, but yeah. Oh, and then my journal, I like to keep track of what I do out here and when I do it, especially when it comes to tumbling, but you know, some of the pages are blank, some of them are very full, but I just like to know what I was doing and when, keep track of how much time I'm actually spending out in the garage. So that's that. For the Lapidary workshop, I've got a couple shelves over here. These are mostly all Alex's things here. He's currently working on a table for me that's going to have a screen in the bottom of it that we can put rocks on to just hose off in the backyard. Kind of a bigger version of a strainer, because right now we just have these, but we're going to have a nice table that's about the size of the sawhorse table here that we'll be able to just set up on some sawhorse legs outside and clean stuff off, like when we go to Diamond Hill Mine and things like that. which we're heading to soon. So in addition to the big wash table, I got a couple other things planned that'll hopefully happen in the next year. Hoping to get a better table for over here that I could put both trim saws on and have some drawers for storage underneath. That it's on wheels and looks a little nicer than this setup currently. And then hoping to replace the sawhorse table because these sawhorse legs are falling apart, with a nice wheeled workbench table that I can hopefully put a capping machine on at some point. That's what the fastening machine is being sold to help fund. But yeah, so that's the plans for the future in the workshop, and hopefully next time I do a shop tour video, it'll look quite a bit different in here. But yeah. Oh, and here's the wagon. We just got this too. So we're excited to take that with us on adventures to mines and stuff that we're planning on going to. But yeah. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you have any tips and pointers for putting together your own lapidary workshop, leave them in the comments. And of course, as always, thank you so much for watching and have a great day.